Good evening, and we're coming up on air with some breaking news. The much-awaited meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and his Chinese counterpart, President Xi Jinping, has finally taken place at Busan Airport in South Korea. Some of the issues to be discussed include how to tighten the grip on rare earth minerals, as well as Chinese purchasing of American soybeans, and of course the ongoing tariff wars between the two world largest economies. We are keeping tabs on that, and of course we should be giving you more update as we get. Currently the two leaders are held up in a closed-door meeting, and of course we're keeping tabs of what is happening. Welcome to the show. This is Business Check. We're live from Broadcasting House. My name is O'Brien Kimani. This morning, we're focusing on two issues. One of them, Kenya's industrialization agenda, and what we are doing about this. Remember, Kenya's manufacturing base has always been at a paltry 9%, despite various government initiatives to boost this number to about 15% by the year 2027. And you can be guaranteed that we are on track to meet that target as well. The question is, what do we need to do to boost the manufacturing base here in Kenya? And of course, push the numbers up. When you look at the world top 10 economies, you don't have an economy that has ever jumped into the industrialized or into the wealthy bracket without three things: industrialization, or manufacturing if you like it, mining, and technology, as well as innovation. And so for Kenya to progress to the next level, those three things are critical. We should also be looking at project management. You see, project management is very critical in the delivery of every project. And that's why Project Management Institute of Kenya is joining us this morning, so that they can help us understand what is the role of project management in delivery of various projects. And of course, later on, we shall be looking at the future of jobs. I'm sure you have heard about this. The artificial intelligence is taking over your jobs, my job as well. I've always told you about the newscaster called Kim in South Korea and what she is doing, and the future of news anchoring, as well as the job that you are doing. I've told you that you are right on time for Base Check, where we are live from our national headquarters. This is Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, and time is coming up to 10:10, and we want now to get right into the topic. And I told you the first hour, we are looking at the conversation around project management here in Kenya, and we're joined by the CEO of Project Management Institute of Kenya. Thank you very much indeed. It's nice to see you this morning.
Thank you very much.
Help us understand what is the role of PMI in Kenya?
Okay. Thank you very much, and for inviting me to your studios. First, I'll just start by introducing who we are. We are an affiliate or a local chapter for the Project Management Institute Global USA, and we are one of the 300 other chapters across the globe. What we do is we're an association that brings together all the project, program, portfolio managers across the country, and we are the professional body that certifies them and creates a community for engagement. Mm-hmm. As you've rightfully put it, for any country to succeed, projects are critical. Projects are critical, and as a result, that's the value, and that's where we play. We've got 1,400 members, and we're doing our best to make sure that we drive and collaborate with the government to drive execution and delivery of initiatives. Mm-hmm. I look around and I can see so many stalled projects in our communities. Yeah, and our contribution as a profession is to make sure that we drive these conversations, collaborate, upskill our government delivery agencies, upskill organizations that are delivering projects across Kenya, and to make sure that we champion best practice, make sure that we nurture the profession development, and lastly, advocate for the significance of project management in Kenya.
You're talking about helping government in the delivery of various projects. Is your focus only on public projects?
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. We do believe that even to just drive GDP across the country, we need thriving organizations. So our project managers are cut across various industries. We've got project managers in the health sector, non-governmental organizations. We've got project managers in financial services, aviation industry, events, in academia as well. And we believe that by providing professional services in delivering of any project, what we do in a nutshell is simply putting your strategic intention into action. So any organization, you don't have to be public service that you require someone whose sole responsibility is to make sure that they deliver your strategic intention on time, on budget, objective, and within the quality. So we cut across multiple industries.
And when you look at both the public and the private sector, of course we know, in a country like Kenya, the government is a major player in all projects in this country, and the government is a major investor in most infrastructural projects. Who has a lot of project delays, financial mismanagement when it comes to project execution?
I think I would have to delve deeper to get the research around that. But I believe the most impactful projects for any community would be the projects that are driven by the public service. And if you're familiar with the recent audit report that was issued in the last month by the Auditor General, she spoke to the fact that 158 of our projects across our 12 devolved units have actually stalled. What does this mean? It means that we are leaving communities with unfinished schools, health institutions, dispensaries that haven't been completed. So we're not getting value for money in investment that have been put by our government. As a result, also, it also means that the people are losing trust with their government, right? And this public service services are things that are going to drive and help us meet our strategic intention, including achieving our 2030 SDG goals. So I think there is much more value with us. Instead of just pointing a finger and criticizing the government, what can we do as a professional body to step up? Because we know we are experts in delivering of projects. So what are we doing there? We've partnered with Government Delivery Unit. We've got an MOU ongoing. And the idea here is to make sure we are able to do some capacity building for this government officials who are responsible for driving delivery of projects. On top of that, we're also making sure that our professionals are also certified and trained with the best practice across the globe. We make sure that we have trainings, we've got webinars, we've got conferences. We also make sure that we expose them to best practice across international standards, so that we're not just maximizing project success for our local country, but also for the world. And on top of that, just to make sure that the government knows that they have a practicing institution that is willing to support them with the credentialed members that they require to drive initiatives.
You talked about having 300 members?
1,400.
1,400.
Yeah.
Are they enough to monitor all the projects that are taken here in Kenya?
Absolutely not. Our recent statistics actually tell us that we currently have around 150,000 approximate certified project managers. And this is not enough to cut across. And the demand...
150,000?
150,000.
In Kenya?
In Kenya, yeah. Project practitioners who are actually certified and credentialed. But this is not enough for us to meet the demand that is actually growing. I think about when the recent government entered office, they made promises around affordable housing, building network cabling, optic cabling. They promised to build development centers in our wards. And as we can see already, we're struggling to meet that demand. Also, with the consideration for the 2030 sustainability development goals, it means that we require more professional people, more certified experts to support them with this delivery. So the demand is actually going to increase. Our numbers actually tell us that by 2035, we expect these numbers to have doubled. So it's not enough. And as a professional body, what we are trying to do, including my presence here today, is just to advocate for that significance of project managers so that we are able to inspire and motivate other individuals to join our cause to make sure that we have experts delivering on our strategic intentions.
As PMI, you have about, you talked about 1,400 practitioners registered with you.
Yes.
And you're talking about a country with about 150,000 certified practitioners.
Yes.
Where are the other 139,000?
Exactly. So we need to make a lot of noise to make sure that we're able to pull them into the body. They're driving initiatives for their organizations, for the public sector, but they're not fully aware that we actually exist as a body. So we're making a lot of noise.
And how many years have you been in existence?
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
And majority of them don't know that you exist?
Absolutely.
Why is that the case?
So I think we haven't been doing a very good job in raising awareness on our presence and our value here. But we are working on that. Mm-hmm. This year, we put a critical focus on that. In the last, since I took over the president's docket last year, we have grown from 1,000 to 400. Mm-hmm. So you can see that there's exponential growth in that, and we're working towards making sure that we raise and increase awareness on the value of project managers and the value of actually joining a professional body. Mm-hmm. On top of that, we're also working on a bill just to make sure that we're able to regulate professional project managers in the country. Mm-hmm. So I believe with that conversation that we're having, we'll be able to increase the value for these certified members to actually join our body and practice together.
You know, you're talking about more than 148,000 certified public management officers being outside your bracket, and this is a significant number.
Absolutely.
And you're saying that in the last 1 year, you have managed to register about 400.
Yes.
If you continue by this pace of registering 400 practitioners every year, in 10 years, you're going to be about 5,000.
Yeah.
Is this number good enough?
No, absolutely not.
So
absolutely
what do you need
not.
to do to upscale this number?
I believe using forums and platforms such as this to make sure that we raise awareness on what we're doing as a body. Secondly, just sell this proposition. Why should a professional project manager join a community of other practicing practitioners? So part of what we're doing, including our flagship events, upcoming, we've got our National Excellence Gala Award dinner. And through this dinner, our attempt is to make sure that we recognize and embed a culture of excellence in our project managers across the country. We have invited organizations across Kenya, individuals to put up their names, to recognize projects that have been delivered exceptionally well. Making this noise and raising this awareness, we believe we'll be able to attract more professional project practitioners into our body. On top of that, we also, as PMI Global Institute, one of the things they've done is also tailor-made certifications to make sure that we're able to encompass all industries and skill sets. I'll give a good example. In the past, our gold standard for project management was the PMP certification. But on top of this, we've added, the PMI Institute has also added additional gold standard certifications just to make sure that they're attracting other skills. One of them being the Agile certification. We've got the construction project management certification now tailored just for project managers in the construction industry. We've got the PMO certification for project management offices. Anyone who's trying to set up a project management office, they've got their own credential. We also have the green project manager. We, as a country, as the world, we're also going green. So how do we support project managers who are also involved in delivering of green sustainability and renewable energy initiatives? On top of that, we've also they've also considered factoring in resources who are driving projects for risk or compliance organizations. And I believe by making sure that we've got a wide array of certifications and tailoring these needs, we'll be able to also attract all those other practicing practitioners that have not seen the need to join the community.
You're talking about the bill that is pending before Parliament, the Project Management Professionals Bill, which seeks to regulate this industry and ensure that only certified professionals are given mandate to manage projects. Tell us more about this bill and your input in this and how you expect this bill to change the face of PMI.
Well, let me start with the last bit. I believe that if this bill is actually passed, what it will do is that it will make sure that anyone who calls themselves a project manager will require to be certified, and on top of that will require to be a member of this association. So by doing that, we'll definitely see an uptick and an increase in our membership as an association. That's to start with the last question. But also, I believe that ensuring that our practice is regulated will ensure that we have professionals who are championing best practice and making sure that they are delivering according to the world global standard. We will reduce situations where we've seen projects that have been delivered below quality and not following the guidelines of ethics and morality in our organizations. So I do believe that what passing this bill will do for us is, on top of just making sure that our association also grows in membership, it will make sure that we are able to have people who are practicing project management in the best way possible, and that will make sure that our people get the services they actually demand. And on top of that, for any sponsors or organizations that put in money, they'll be able to get a return on their investment.
How are you engaging Parliament to ensure that this bill is fast-tracked? Because at the end of the day, it seeks to help improve the face and the image of PMI and professional managers facing the country.
Thank you for that. So recently, as late as last month, we have engaged with the Government Delivery Unit. And the idea here is to get support on how we can work together collaboratively with the government, because the Government Delivery Unit is at the center of delivering of most of our projects across the country. So we believe with the support of the GDU, we'll be able to drive conversations. Secondly, project managers are seen mostly as, of course, the people that actually get the work done. But we also want to move over and above that. We want to work with Treasury, for example, where all the decisions are actually made, to see how we can assist with the actual planning before the assignment of funding in a particular project. And we believe that working closely with this government unit, we'll be able to drive and ensure effective delivery.
When you engage with the Parliament, when do they plan to start debate on this bill?
So they have sent it back to us already. So we already took it to Parliament, sent it back to us with a few changes. So what we're actually working on is amending those changes together with
and what are these
consultations. Quite a few, but just to mention but a few, one of the things to make sure we do some lobbying around the country. Number two, work closely with other professional institutions We've partnered with for example, the Association of Architectural Architects in Kenya. We're also working closely with the construction project managers who sit under this particular association to see how we can come together to make sure we have one collective bill.
Very good. If you're just joining us, we're talking to Maureen Bithi Ochang. She's the president of the PMI here in Kenya. And of course, our conversation is how to ensure that we incorporate and inculcate a culture of engaging professional managers when it comes to critical projects. You're watching this check, and of course to be alive from Broadcasting House. I want to hear this from you, Bithi. When you look at the bill that is pending or that is supposed to be debated in Parliament, Parliament have of course shared back the documents to you as professionals so that you can engage widely. So in this case, who are you engaging with, and when do you plan to take back the bill to Parliament?
So as a start, we are working with the Government Delivery Unit, as I mentioned, to see, to get us access to Treasury and other big parties to see how we can drive this. Also, like I've mentioned, we are working closely with other certified bodies, including the AAK, ISK, IEK, to see how we can collaboratively drive this conversation, because all these bodies are also responsible for some of this project. We're also looking for a sponsor. Also, just to mention, in the housing agenda for the country, what we're also doing there collaboratively with these other bodies, just to create a sense of a proof of concept, for example, of the value that project management can actually bring, is professional bodies have come together to see how we can support the government agenda in the housing forum, and to enable them deliver on that ambitious goal that they promise. And we believe that by starting with this quick, simple wins, we'll be able to show the value of project professionals to our government and get that buy-in from Parliament. Yeah.
The Kenya Institute of Project Management, has also been at the forefront of helping train project managers and, of course, ensuring that they are well certified and they get placements in the local industry. How do you work with this, with the Kenya Institute of Project Management?
So we're currently looking for ways for us to collaborate. I know, and that's part of the reason why the bill was actually sent back, because as a country, I believe the need for a country is that all professional bodies working in projects come together and collaboratively work together. So what we're trying to do around that is just to make sure that we are working together, that we come together to have one agreement before we present ourselves back to Parliament on what value we can do together, as institutions.
Do you feel that it is high time now the government created a regulatory body, and I know this is one of the proposals, to regulate project managers in this country?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So right now we don't have anybody that is in charge of regulating professionals in this journey. So you have everybody in that space. What kind of damage is this doing to this profession?
Maybe as a start, before we talk about the damage that it's creating, I think what it also presents is we don't come out as a force that is collaborating. So I believe that's the first point of call. How do we bring together all the bodies that are actually want to better project management delivery in our country?
And there are many in Kenya.
Absolutely.
How many are they?
Around 4.
4 of you?
Yeah.
Do you speak?
Yes, we do, and we've started the conversations. One of the things I've mentioned is around the construction project managers who sit under the AAK. So we are having those collaborative
But I know there is also a bill to regulate construction project managers.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. The ask by our government is that can you guys go back, sit together, and come back to us as one joint organization? So that's what we're trying to work around.
So who is leading in that effort?
I'd say,
is it PMI?
I'd say PMI, because we are the ones who've reached out to all these organizations to see how we can work together. So far we have had conversations. Yes, we've had conversations with the construction project managers, and we've even involved them in some of our conversations, our webinars, so we're working together. And then now we're also working with the Kenya Institute of Project Managers as well.
Which is the other fourth agency or organization?
The name doesn't come to mind right at the moment, but the idea is just to make sure that any institution that is, because all of us want the same thing. All of us want to support and collaborate with the government and other organizations to make sure that we elevate the competency of project management. The science of project management is the same, the art of project management is the same. All of us just want professional individuals driving project management. Yeah.
So I still want you to respond to my question. I mean, the fact that we don't have a regulator in this industry, I mean, is a risk, whereby now you would expect everybody to be playing this space because there is no policing of this industry per se. And first of all, do we have a challenge with fake professionals?
I cannot say no, because I know for a fact that we do have individuals who would purport or call themselves project managers, but have actually not gone through the training. Yeah, so absolutely, that will definitely pose a risk.
So they are fake professionals?
I wouldn't say fake professional. I'm just saying someone who will be calling themselves a project manager, but they're not actually certified. Yeah.
So yes, they have gone through the training, but they are not satisfied.
They've not gone through the training.
Or they haven't even gone through the training.
Yes, but they've been managing projects for some time and they call themselves a project manager.
By the fact that they have been managing projects.
Yes.
But we also have a challenge of professionals who have gone through the training, but they are not certified.
Absolutely. Yes.
So how are you dealing with this double problem?
Yeah. So one of the things as project management institutes that we're trying to do is inculcate that value and the reason for you to actually be certified, for you to call yourself a project manager. And in our association, the drive for all these 1,400 members to actually be credentialed is top of mind. So, like I said, with the various certifications, there's something for everyone. The idea is to make sure that everyone goes through the certification before you actually call yourself a project manager. And we're also working very closely with institutions of higher learning, such as Nairobi University, that offer courses also in project management, to see how we can support with reviewing of their curricula, to make sure that their curriculum is also aligned to project management as it sits right now. And we hope by doing this that also, even as they certify or we have diplomas in project management leaving the institutions of learning, that this will also mean that we are bringing people into the community and into our country who will be managing projects from a point of knowledge, with the technical knowledge that they actually require. Yeah.
And when you look at your industry, and you're talking about 150,000 professionals in this space alone, and that is a significant constituency. How best should we regulate this industry without stifling growth and ensuring that we don't create layers of unnecessary bureaucracy?
I think as a start, the first point of call is what we've said around working with the government to, because like I said, in the government we have quite a few initiatives that are being run. How do we make sure that we build capacity for our government, with any resource that is working in project management to ensure that they also have the credential and the skills and the technology know-how and the know-how to actually deliver on initiatives. So that's one point of call. Then secondly, as we work with our members in our institution, is to make sure that we are raising awareness on the value that they create, making sure that they step up to not only just focus on actually delivering the initiatives that they're delivering in the organizations, but also how do they add more value to the organizations from a strategic point of view and also from a benefit realization point of view. By elevating that conversation, I do believe that we'll be able to drive this agenda forward.
So in terms of regulating this industry, which ministry should be in charge of regulating this sector? Is it the National Treasury? Is it the Ministry of Public Works? Is it the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure Development?
So we haven't aligned on that as yet. I will come back to communicate that once we do. But
because I know that is also the conversation that the professionals in the industry are yet to agree with, because some are in construction industry, others are in the health industry, others in the aviation industry, you know, monitoring project within the aviation space. And so there is no consensus even among professionals in this industry on who should be in charge or which ministry should be in charge of regulating this industry.
Absolutely. So that's just some of
But from where you sit, which ministry do you think is better positioned to ensure there is proper regulation of project management professionals?
From where I sit as a start, I think Treasury.
The National Treasury?
Yes.
Why do you feel Treasury?
Because the beginning of projects actually begins with the bringing together the resources and assigning financial resources to a project. So that's where we always start as a concept. So you agree, for example, on a construction work or road, for example, and that always begins at Treasury. They're the ones who actually make the decisions.
Well, Treasury makes a financial decision, but project planning, implementation, delivery, you know, it is done by the parent. If, for example, it's, let's say, the Mau Summit Road, it started with the Kenya National Highways Authority, which falls under the Ministry of Roads and Transport, whereby they came up with the drawings, the concept, the designs. Then they forwarded the same now to National Treasury for funding. So are you saying that is where you should come in, you know, at the funding level? Absolutely.
Because think about it this way. Even in an organization, when you're coming up with what initiatives you want to run as an organization, the executives need to sit down first. We are always working in an institution where the demand will always exceed what is actually available in our resources, right? So the executives need to come together and agree on, this is how much we have in our pool. What are the priority initiatives, right? If it's that Kura, if it's that road, then we assign it to the Ministry of Roads. But where do we make that decision? It has to be made at a financial decision at the center, so that we prioritize and assign our limited resourcing to the initiative that will actually drive the most impact for our communities and our country.
But when you look at you know, project managers, where should they come in the whole value chain of project planning, execution, implementation? Where should they come? Is it at the initialization stage, at the conceptualization stage, implementation stage, funding project, stage? Where should they, what should be their entry point?
Good question. So currently as it sits, project managers normally come in at execution phase, which is the central. So you've already agreed on this project or initiative, and you've now brought the resources together and you want to start the project. However, as a professional body, we are also evolving, and we are pushing for project managers to also come in at the beginning of project management. This is at the conceptualization stage, where we are saying that as you come up with the strategic intention, get a feel of some consultation from your project managers and your professional bodies on whether this is the best use of our limited resourcing. Why am I saying this? Because sometimes when you call a project manager and you're asking them to deliver the particular strategic initiative, you've already decided on prioritization, but there could have been a chance for us to actually reevaluate and prioritize another initiative that would have driven more impact and more value to the organization or the country. So the recommendation, and as we evolve as project managers, is that we're asking for a seat at the table, even as you come up with conceptualizing these ideas, that we can support with advisory to make sure that you're tying these initiatives to the strategic intention, to make sure that you have prioritized correctly, and then we can cue all the other initiatives based on prioritization. Yeah.
And when you look at project management professionals, what are their core competencies, and what value are they expected to add in a project?
Thank you for that question. So on top of the basics of a project manager to make sure that they have the technical know-how and the science of project management to deliver the project on time, on budget, quality, and risk threshold for the organization. At Project Management Institute, one of the things we're looking at is a balanced professional. So we call it the talent triangle. So we look at three things. One, you've got the skills to actually deliver the project, the technical know-how, your agile methodology, your hybrid methodology, design, presentation, etc. That's technology. That's the knowledge and the skills of project management. But we also look at balancing this with the power skills, which are formerly known as soft skills. This is the interpersonal skills, because projects are actually made for people by people. So how do you bring all these individuals and subject matter experts who are supposed to be delivering on that initiative together? How do you make sure that they carry the vision? How do you make sure that you carry the people along as you deliver and minimize resistance in that initiative and get adoption even at the end of the project? That's the power skills. Then lastly, we also look at ensuring that they have business acumen. And by business acumen, we mean that they also need to be familiar as project managers with the environment that they are working in. So they're able to effectively drive decision-making as a start, and secondly, make sure that the initiatives are actually fitting the global trends and the strategic intention that is currently happening. A good case example would be you're running with an initiative to come up with a unique product offering in your organization, and you realize that the competition is already running with that as well. There would be no value for you to just deliver on the same initiative if your idea was to make sure you set yourself apart, right? So having that strategic acumen would be able to help you as a project manager to drive decision-making around, maybe let's tweak this product a bit further, or stop and start something else to make sure that we're able to differentiate and meet our intention. Yeah.
What are the professional qualifications of a project manager professional?
Thank you for that question. So some of the skills that require competencies, one would be the global standard certification that I've referred to make sure that you're credentialed. We've got the PMP that is globally recognized across the project management professional. We've got the portfolio management professional. We've got the program professional as well. On top of that, we also have the degrees in project management and the diplomas that I've mentioned that will give you that technical knowledge. But on top of that, I think it's also important for you to make sure that you expose yourself to delivering of this project, that you learn experientially.
What are the risks of starting a project without the input of a project management professional?
I think as a start, the one thing that I also tell my organization where I work currently is if you don't have a centralized project management office, for example, that is ensuring that you're bringing together all your resources to make sure that you're prioritizing these resources, to make sure that you have a value and impact once you deliver. What happens is you'll find that most people are actually pulling in their different directions. One organization that has multiple facets, you'll find that the little money that is there is actually being pulled in multiple directions. But bringing this resources together, what it does is that it reduces the risk of ensuring that people are actually able to deliver within the timeline that they promised and to deliver within quality. Pulling everyone to the table to make sure that you might find that you have multiple similar projects running across the same organization. But with a central project management function, what happens is that there's transparency and you're able to alleviate any risk of wasted resources.
I mean, when you look at projects, you know, they vary in size, they vary in budget, they vary in the number of professionals involved. And I want to give an example. You know, for example, when you look at the kind of a project that the construction of the expressway was vis-a-vis maybe the construction of, let's say, a small hospital, maybe a level 3 hospital, the level of funding, the level of professionals, the level of space that is needed is significantly different. So which project should you have a project manager on site or onboarded? Is it determined by the cost, by the value, by the significance of the project?
Okay, good question. So if you ask me, any project...
Is it your opinion or the professional opinion? This
is my professional opinion. Any initiative that is temporary endeavor, whether it's the level 5 or the construction of road or an event, you're always better off having a skilled project manager deliver that for you. Why? Because it creates that predictability. That once they have done their integration, they've brought in all the pieces together, the dependencies, identified all the stakeholders who are required to actually deliver, identified the requirements from all the stakeholders. With a professional project manager, you'll be able to identify the risks and manage them and make sure that you deliver within the budget, within the timeline, within the quality. Without a professional, what tends to happen is people are just putting the best foot forward. And what happens in such initiatives is that they'll tend to overrun because not everything was factored together. Having someone who's experienced and who's technically sound in project management will make sure that whichever event, whether it's whichever initiative, whether it's an event, including simple things like the Standard Chartered Marathon, you have a goal to make sure that you raise some money, for example. You have a goal to make sure that you have this a number of attendees. You need to have that one person who integrates all the pieces together, make sure we've covered all the requirements, covered all our bases, and whose sole responsibility is to make sure that every stakeholder sticks to their timeline, sticks to the quality. They have no vested interest, because sometimes in a project you have subject matter experts and they're all pulling in different directions. So you need this one person who brings all this together, regardless of whether it's a complex project or a seasoned project. What I would say about the level of experience you would need is it would depend on the complexity of the project. So for very complex initiatives, definitely get someone who's more seasoned, someone who's more experienced in project management. And then for the simpler projects, you can work with your 1 to 2 years experienced project managers. Yeah.
Do you need a project manager for a project whose value is less than $1 million shillings.
Yes, in some initiatives.
Like if I'm putting up a house in my rural area in Kiambu County, and the house, let's say, is about 7 million shillings, do I need a professional manager? A professional project manager.
I would definitely advise for that. Why? Because you have, in that particular project, you're bringing in subject matter experts from different facets. You've got your contractor, you've got your quantity surveyor, you've got your architect, etc. You're trying to make sure that you want this house built within the quality standards, and to make sure that your house, your particular house is built in a particular time frame, and that doesn't supersede that 7 million budget, right? The value of having this experienced project manager.
The work of the quantity surveyor? No.
That's the value. That's the value of having a project manager. A project manager controls all those three facets. That is their sole responsibility.
For example, let's take, for example, a typical project. Let's, for example, take the construction of a Talanta Stadium, for example. You need a resident engineer, you need a resident quantity surveyor, you need a resident architect on site, and you need the main contractor on site. And the person who is in charge of all these is the architect, right? So where does the project manager comes in, and who is going to supervise the other?
So the project manager would supervise all those three subject matter experts, absolutely. And the value that they play is to make sure that they represent the sponsor, whoever is funding this initiative, and the beneficiaries of this initiative.
But how will a project manager, for example, supervise a professional like an architect? Yet the project manager is not an architect.
Absolutely.
So how will they? Isn't it supposed to be the other way around?
No. So in any particular project, what the hierarchy of the project would look like this. You have the sponsor at the top, whoever is funding the initiative. So that is the financier? Yes. Then you have the project owner, the benefit relation outcome owner, whoever is going to benefit from the initiative, or the customer that has requested for this initiative to actually be put together. And then all
so like, for example, let's take the Mau Summit Rironi Highway. You know, and try to develop that hierarchy of management. So on top you have China Roads and NSSF. Those are the financiers, right? Okay. Then the government of Kenya, GOK, is the owner of the project.
Yes.
Through Kenha.
Yes.
Sindio. Then who should come after Kenha or GOK? So
after Kenha, who should come would be the project manager. Then you've got all the other suppliers. You've got the contractors, you've got the workforce that's actually building the road, you've got the individuals that are actually supplying materials for building of the road. So what this project manager does at the center is to make sure that they come up with an all-encompassing schedule, first and foremost, that make sure that we have all the resources, make sure they take care of all the dependencies. I'll give a good example. We can't start the road before we have the materials on site, right? We can't start building before we have the money on site, for example, and paid. So that we make sure that you have one person who is holding everyone to account, keeping all the subject matter experts to account, and ensuring that there is no, let me say, mischief running around. Also, their responsibility is to make sure that they keep people focused on the vision of actually delivering on this particular road. So that's the role that they play. They have no other role in the project other than keeping people focused, holding them to account by the timeline, the quality they promised, and factoring all the other dependencies and making sure that they remove any impediments beforehand so that we don't actually don't materialize to becoming issues. Yes.
You know, for somebody who is watching this program and of course listening to us, and they are asking, so at what point do you onboard the project manager?
Essentially, in most organizations, you come up with your initiative or your business case and you say, I would like to deliver, for example, a unique product. At that point in time, once you're clear on the concept note of what you're trying to deliver, then you assign a project manager. And the role of the project manager is to make sure that they review the entire array of delivery, make sure that we've covered all the requirements, we are clear on the scope, we are clear on the objective, we are clear on how much money is required for us to do the delivery. So at that point in time is when you assign a project manager. And then they make sure that they bring the team together, and then you can initiate the project.
What are the charges of a project manager? Is it written? Like we know the charges of an engineer, the charges of an architect, a quantity surveyor, all of them are captured in the law. What about for project managers?
So that is not cast in stone yet. And that's something that we are working on, even as we work on the regulation.
So this is based on the concept of kuelewana?
At this point in time, I would say that. And also, we have, in the market, we have rates that we have agreed upon.
And these rates are developed by who?
Just through research. So we've got 3 levels of project managers. We've got your junior project managers, then you've got your intermediate project managers, and you've got your senior project managers. So those market rates have been agreed upon in a large scale in the market. And when you are commissioning a project and you require services from a project manager, you reach out to a company and they would offer you a rate card based on that standardized rate. Yes.
Very well. If you're just joining us, we're in the company of a president. This is the president of the Project Management Institute of Kenya, President Maureen Bithi, and we are looking at the importance of having project managers in any project, the role that they play, and what are their deliverables, and of course helping to manage cost and ensure that the execution of a project is done within budget and on schedule. Maureen, before I let you go, help us understand things. When you look at this industry, where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
As it currently sits, we're living in a very volatile economy. Geopolitical-wise, the advancements in technology are changing very rapidly. So I believe the demand for project managers is going to increase exponentially. And as I said at the beginning of our conversation, the demand is growing quite exponentially, even as it is right now. So if I was to speak to our young professionals who are looking for space or professional organizations or somewhere to actually grow, I would say I would definitely recommend project management as a skill set that you need to acquire. Most of our development is actually tied to projects. You know, these short-term endeavors to make sure you're able to drive and deliver on something strategic or an initiative. So my recommendation would be that you consider pursuing a career in project management. We have seen how versatile it is. Like I said, we have project managers in the health sector, we have project managers in technology, we've got project managers in the NGO sector, public sector. So I believe that the skill is also quite transferable. And the science of project management applies across multiple industries. So that gives you an opportunity to be very versatile. Yeah.
Very good. Anything else do we need to know from Maureen?
I think just in closing is to speak to what we are doing as PMI in the upcoming few months. We've got our mentorship day on the 14th of November, where we'll be launching a mentorship program. And again, this is aligned to how we are planning to support professional development in the country. The idea is to come up with a structured program on how we can pair experienced, seasoned professionals in project management with the less seasoned project management professionals, and to see how we can grow our students and younger professionals in this career, and also just transfer our knowledge and build our membership. Then we've also got the National Gala Awards dinner happening on the 5th of December, which will be quite significant, where we want to recognize projects and individuals who have delivered exceptionally, and with a key focus on delivery for social initiatives as well, social good. Mm-hmm. And in this, welcoming anyone who's interested also to participate, and also welcoming partners, like-minded partners, that we can work together to drive delivery for our country and make this a better place for all of us.
Very good. Madam President, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning, and of course for sharing with us those insights around project management professionals, their role, responsibilities, and of course where they fall in. Your time is highly appreciated.
Thank you very much for having me.
Very good. Maureen Bithe. Bithe is the president of Project Managers Institute of Kenya, joining us this morning to help us understand the role and the responsibilities of PM professionals in our socio-economic setup. You're watching the Base Check program live from our national headquarters, and of course we're coming to you live from KBC. Our next conversation is around artificial intelligence and the future of jobs, from AI musicians to AI newscasters. Artificial intelligence is taking over the world by storm. What's next? The conversation is coming up next after the break.